Hi, I'm your host and go-to executive coach, Phyllis Reagin, and today we're going to be talking about a certain strategy that can help you unravel imposter syndrome. This is a 6-part video series. In part 1, I go over the features of imposter syndrome and 2 things that trigger imposter syndrome. I think that's a great place for you to start, just to check to see if you are experiencing imposter syndrome. I also focus on one aspect of how imposter syndrome can impact you, and that is around feeling like a fraud, feeling like your successes are due to luck. So if that's something you're experiencing, I encourage you to definitely review that video and learn about the strategy that helped one of my clients. Today I'm going to be focusing on how imposter syndrome negatively impacts decision making. That means you are losing trust in your decision making, or you're not going fast enough with your decision making. So that can be rooted in imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome creates its own hurdles for you. You then begin to question yourself, you have self-doubt, and it's just this cycle that you get into that's going to impact how you are making decisions. If you're a leader, or you have some team that reports into you, then you making decisions is a critical aspect of your role. You don't want to be seen as someone who second guesses their decisions or can't make them confidently, and certainly not at the right pace. This will undermine your authority. I have a client, her name's Emily, that's not a real name, and she is a mid-level leader. She's a director at an entertainment studio. She came to executive coaching because she's really talented in her field. She's well known for her products that she produces, the productions that she's on, the teams that she leads. She has a really good track record. But what she was noticing lately, she was really having a lot of self-doubt about her decision making. She's not sure where it started to trigger, but it just started to get worse and worse. And it was making her slow to make decisions. People around her were starting to lose confidence in her. Could she make the right decision? Could she make the right call on time? And then the more negative aspects of this starting to happen, the more self-doubt she had. So she was locked in this cycle. It also started to have a ripple effect with the people around her. They too started questioning their own decisions and being slow. They weren't really having a lot of confidence that if they took some information to her, she could actually help them make decisions. So it was negatively impacting their morale as well. Here's what we focused on in coaching that really helped Emily unravel that self-doubt that she was having and to drive up her confidence. The first thing for her was to really understand her decision-making style. That's a good question for you. Do you know what your decision-making style is? Some people lean heavily on intuition. Others lean heavily on external data and information. So to know, like, where is it that I make my decisions from, and where am I stuck? If you're stuck in intuition because you no longer trust yourself, but that's how you actually make good decisions, then you want to take a look at what's happening there. If you're stuck with external cues, not taking in data, and you're stuck in analysis paralysis when you have the information, then that's one place to look at. How can I actually do better with how I gather the information and move through it in a way with more ease and at a faster pace? But you want to understand, how do I make decisions? Start there. Then you want to do step 2, which is you want to learn to make decisions even if they're imperfect. So making a decision is really saying, I'm going to have uncertainty. There may be uncertainty, and there's a level of risk every time you make a decision, for most decisions. And when you're leading a team, a project, something important, there is going to be a level of risk and some uncertainty. That is a mindset shift that you need to take, that's inherently going to be there, and you just have to be comfortable with it. It's not about perfection, it's about making a decision and moving forward with it. The more that you do this, you then show yourself that you can make good decisions, that you can go at a pace that makes sense for the work that you have, or the decision, the time frame that you have. So that's just learning to trust yourself more, that you can make the best choice with the given information that you have under the circumstances that you're in, and that you can adapt and course correct. You're not stuck. The third step for this strategy is just to really reframe mistakes as opportunities. Often we think of mistakes as failure, as if it's just set in stone once you have a failure. But if you reframe it as it's an opportunity for growth and learning, you can be better, you can do it differently, you can do it faster, you can help others, you can coach others to do it better, but there's an opportunity for growth. You're not stuck. That might give you an ease with making decisions. So this is just one strategy that can be particularly effective with reframing your mindset, how you're approaching and understanding your own decision making, and how you can really drive up a growth mindset about how you're making your decisions. This is going to cultivate resiliency and confidence during uncertainty or any kind of adversity or risk. All right, so remember this. I really want you to think about this. My clients put this on their mirror. They put this around their computers. It's just to remember that leadership is not about being flawless. It's about being authentic, adaptable, and empathetic. When you lean more into that and less into you're looking for things to be perfect, or decisions you have to trust yourself completely before you make a decision, you'll move through your decision making at a pace that makes sense, and you'll have more trust in your decision making. Well, thank you for joining me today. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, subscribe for more content like this. In my next part, in part 3 of the 6-part video series, I'm going to be talking about how imposter syndrome impacts you with perfectionism. If that sounds like you, stay tuned. Until next time.